While I'm enjoying my MacBook Air M1, Apple decides they want to release a new iPad, also with the M1 processor. I mean, we all knew that the iPad Pro was going to get a refresh this year, but to be honest, I was ignoring it. The issue is with the yearly release of Apple products, at least for the majority of us, is that it kills the bank account. I could probably only afford to get these devices once every few years. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be looking at the iPad Pro M1 and whether it's worth upgrading to, but just before we do, I just want to thank the new subscribers that have joined, and I just want to thank some of the nice comments. Thank you for some of the nice comments that you left on my last couple of videos. It was definitely much appreciated. The channel is growing, so if you could subscribe, that would be really great. So here are the pricing plans for the new iPad Pro. The 11-inch starts from £749 and the 12.9-inch from £999, and immediately tells you that the 12.9-inch has a liquid Retina XDR display, which is Apple's unique name for probably something that looks really, really good. So you get all the usual sizes for it. In my case, I'd be fine with the base model. Then it describes the screen. Okay, stunning HDR. Now, I have an iPhone XS Max, which is OLED with about 600 nits of brightness. So when I play a HDR 4K movie on there, it looks stunning. And when I mean stunning, I could easily watch a number of movies on there until I get eye strain, obviously. And that's what I was hoping to have with a new iPad Pro, an OLED screen. That's not what this is. It's a mini LED screen, which is underneath OLED, obviously, but according to Apple's description, it's meant to produce great HDR. So you've got 5G, which I'm not really going to use. The front selfie camera has improved to 12 megapixels, which is fantastic for video calling. And finally, the USB-C port is Thunderbolt. Okay, so we're going to compare the models now. The new 12.9-inch compared to the new 11-inch and to the last year's 11-inch, which I have. Alright, so going down the specs. Obviously, there's a liquid Retina XDR display, which would love to see that in action. You've got the M1 processor across, ProMotion, obviously, up to 2 terabytes for the new ones, up to 1 terabyte for the old ones, but for me, obviously, it doesn't matter as much. Obviously, the camera, the selfie camera, is much improved at 12 megapixels. I mean, it was fantastic anyway at 7. And then you got the Thunderbolt connection. That's brilliant. Love that. 5G, again, something I'm not going to use too much. Capacities there, size and weight. And what's interesting is there's a slight difference with the new iPad Pro 11. It's 0.01 pounds lighter. I'm not sure if you're going to notice that. I don't think anyone would notice that, to be honest. Obviously, with the 12.91, that's quite heavy. You won't be able to carry that around. And portability is a bit of an issue. Although I've seen some people carry it around with them. I don't know how they do that, but you do get quite a nice screen with it, so I suppose. And onto that display, just look at that HDR. You've got 600 nits across the board for all devices, which is typical. And then 1000 nits screen brightness for full screen brightness and 1600 peak brightness. I mean, that's insane. That will make your movies look really, really good. And it depends if you want to use it. If it's a media consumption device, it'd be a very expensive media consumption device. But that's just that. I can't wait to see what that looks. I mean, I mentioned earlier I've got Sony Bravia, which is only about 450 nits, and for a handheld device like this, a portable device, sorry, to be that good, that's just amazing. And coming on to the chip as well, the M1 chip, I really expected the battery life to be longer, considerably, considering what the MacBook Air was and what the M1 did, and the apps are optimized. I don't know if that's something they're going to do later. I mean, Apple described it as an all-day battery. 8 to 10 hours is all day, but it's kind of hoping for 15, to be honest, with the M1 chip. I mean, you will get better performance out of it, but I mean, even the iPad Pro right now is, the 2020 model is really, really, really good, to be honest with you. I have no complaints about it. And I'm not too sure if I would want to upgrade, to be honest. Really expected the battery to be longer. I mean, that's a huge advantage of the M1. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below, whether you would consider getting an M1, the M1 iPad Pro, whether you're fine keeping yours, whether you got the 2018 model. Let us know what you think below. Like, subscribe, and yeah, until next time.